the 0-1 Philadelphia Eagles. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NFL on Fox. I'm Sam Rosen, along with the coach, Jerry Glanville. And this game could be determined on how well the Philadelphia Eagles protect their quarterback, Jerry, because Bobby Hoying got pounded last week.
Well, watching last week's tapes, and you people in Philadelphia that saw the game, this quarterback is going to surgery unless they fix some things. And they got to do a better job on blitz pickup. They can't allow this young quarterback to get pounded. That he can help himself. He told us in yesterday's meeting he's going to do a three-step drop and bring the ball out. Even if they're not open, he's got to bring the ball out of his hand.
For the Atlanta Falcons, they won on the road last week, led by the quarterbacking of Chris Chandler. And he's got two outstanding receivers in Tony Martin and Terrence Mathis. Mathis with 6 catches last week, Martin with 4, and they'll test Philadelphia.
Well, you're talking about veteran receivers that have started a lot of football games. And for the Philadelphia Eagles, their strength was corner play. Well, both corners are out, and they're starting 2 players. Al Harris, here's the guy that was on the practice squad at Tampa Bay last year, and Alan Rosen, a guy that played at Notre Dame. So these poor corners are going to get tested early.
All right, 2 guys who could determine a lot of the outcome of this game are the return men in this game, 2 speedsters.
Well, the same guy we're talking about at corner, Alan Rosen. I looked at him at film and I said, Sam, this may be the best young return guy I've seen in 4 or 5 years. Well, then you turn on the Atlanta film and Tim Dwight, a guy from Iowa, he may be even better. I know he's faster. Going to be fun watching these 2 return guys.
Falcons want to go 2-0 for the first time since 1986. Eagles don't want to go 0-2 for the first time since 1990.
Let's do that. Let's go out and fight and get a victory. Fight on 3. 1, 2, 3, fight!
Home opener for the Atlanta Falcons, who won on the road last week. For Ray Rhodes, a tough time, a humiliating loss last week, 38-0 at home against Seattle. This is the 4th and final year of his contract. You see his record against Dan Reeves. Dan Reeves, in his 18th year as a head coach, is second with the Falcons. Last season, the Falcons won here on that man's field goal at the final buzzer. Morton Anderson, 17-year veteran, kicking off. Alan Rossum from the 2, and we're underway. Rossum finds a hole, and then he's thrown back at the 20-yard line. Michael Booker in on the tackle on Alan Rossum, and Bobby Hoying out of Ohio State, who was sacked 9 times last week.
Did you say 9 times, Sam?
9 times.
Woo, that's taking a beating.
That hurts, but he's the starting quarterback. Took over late last season as the starter, 3rd year out of Notre Dame. Bubba Miller filling in for the injured Steve Everett is the center. The rookie Trey Thomas, the #1 draft pick at left tackle. Deuce Staley in his 2nd NFL start. Irving Fryer, the great one, the leading wide receiver. From the 20-yard line, Deuce Staley trying to pick a hole, got a yard on the play. Staley, in his first NFL start last week, rushed for 95 yards. The Atlanta Falcons, who played well defensively in Carolina. Chuck Smith had 12 sacks last season. Travis Hall had 10.5. Jesse Tuggle in the middle, the leading tackler the last 9 seasons for the Falcons. And Eugene Robinson, after 2 seasons in Green Bay, brought in for leadership here in Atlanta. On 2nd down, Staley up to the 24-yard line.
And the Eagles starting off their offensive formations looking just like the Atlanta Falcons. 2 backs, lead straight ahead running. When the Falcons get the ball, you people in Philadelphia will see almost a mirrored attack.
Staley goes to the sideline in favor of a 3rd wide receiver. Russell Copeland is in, along with Jeff Graham and Irving Fryer. 3rd and 6 for the Eagles. There's the short drop and a completion to Irving Fryer, who did not catch a pass last week. The man who led the Eagles with 80 receptions, make that 86 receptions last season, 88 the season before, picks up a 1st down, 14-yard completion.
And Bobby said he's going to bring the ball out. This is 3-step. 1, 2, bring the ball out. And surprisingly, the Falcons only come with a form 1, 2. And he said he's got to fire it even a little bit quicker. No blitz. That was surprising. No blitz on the 1st, 3rd, and long.
Hoying takes the handoff. Wide open is Jeff Graham. Has a 1st down, out of bounds across midfield.
Hoying looking pretty confident to start the game, Jerry.
Well, the corner got off the wide receiver. And the corner's giving way too much room. Watch Ronnie Bradford, the corner. He's off 7-8 yards, so Hoying again went 1-2 throw. And they said they're going to do 3-step to try to get people off the quarterback. That's exactly what he's doing. 1-2 throw, and this corner is off too far. He's off at the top, too. He had to throw it again.
2 tight ends. Staley doesn't get much. Shane Dronette in on the tackle. Number 75. Charlie Garner is in uniform this week. He was out last week with a sprained ankle. Deuce Staley, second-year man out of South Carolina. There's Charlie Garner, who expected to be the starter when Ricky Waters left, but he got injured again in the last preseason game. Not yet 100%, but in uniform and can play if called on. Hoying completes to Kevin Turner out of the backfield. Broke a tackle. Good play by Turner, and he's close to a first down.
Well, what they did to Bobby Hoying, they brought the blitz right up the A-gap. The A-gap is a center guard. They're going to bring blitz people right through these holes to try to get the quarterback. Going to bring blitz people through that hole. This is called A-gap blitzing with an X. There it is. And Deuce picks up the blitz, and all of a sudden your quarterback looks a whole lot better than he did a week ago. A week ago, 12 yards passing.
And the Eagles have picked up 3 first downs on this drive to the Falcons' 37-yard line. Staley and Turner in the backfield. Staley hit by Tuggle and brought down. He wriggled free and may have picked up a yard on the play. Good effort by Staley, but Jesse Tuggle, the veteran middle linebacker who's led the Falcons in tackles for 9 straight years, made the first hit.
Watch the motion, then it's going to be a lead, but nobody picks up the backer. This is Kevin Turner on the fullback giving the ball to Deuce Staley, but there's nobody, out of all people, Jesse Tuggle. How can you leave an all-pro linebacker untouched by human hands? You're going to run out of running backs who do that for 3 hours.
Staley has gone out to the right side. Short drop, and it's complete to Staley. Slipped one man, gets a first down at the 25. Eagles moving the ball nicely, and Hoying on target with his quick drop.
Well, that's 2 steps and throw, but what's making it work for Hoying is there's no pressure from the cornerback to come up. Ray Buchanan, look at this. When you're off that far, you can't stop a 3-step and throw it.
Falcons have made a change in their defensive line. Asera Tuaolo, 8-year veteran, is in for Travis Hall. Staley cuts back to the inside, gets down close to the 20-yard line. William White, number 35, the strong safety, made the stop.
Sam, you said cuts back. Watch the vision for the running back. He starts off to the right, and then he's going to see what Sam saw and break it to the left. Well, he's going to start off this way, and then his vision, Sam, you said cut back. Watch the deuce. 22 is the deuce. Saw the hole nobody could pick up. The strong safety, William White.
Second down for the Eagles, and 6 just short of the 20-yard line. Staley again behind Turner, another cutback for a few yards, down about the 18-yard line. Brings up another third down play for the Eagles. Tuggle and Tuaolo in on the stop. Ray Rhodes was composed this week.
He was.
Calm.
He wasn't upset. He must have known they're going to run the lead. And they've run this lead, and the lead is no secret. It's no trick play. They're just going to send the fullback, Kevin Turner, up front without the ball and give the ball to Deuce and try to scatter people.
Eagles
Third
have
down.
3 wide receivers in, and the Falcons have 6 defensive backs.
That's
Lone
full
setback
press.
is Turner.
Full
Short
press,
drop.
you can't make the 3-step.
Fryer is down short of a first down. What do you mean by that, the full
All right,
press?
the full press with the corner. Watch the corner. He's all over Fryer's face. So that hitch has got to become a slant because he's not off that 7 yards where they were before. So that's automatic. Even if he called the hitch, Sam, when the full press comes up, it becomes the slant.
And it's my mistake. It was a first down to the 12-yard line. The Eagles' 12th play of this drive.
Nice
First
drive.
and 10 from the 12. Staley, the lone setback. The screen. Staley gets through to the 5, to the goal line, down at the 1-yard line. A first down for the Eagles.
What a great effort by Cornelius Bennett. He saved a touchdown. Outside linebacker for Atlanta chased it down, because it was a touch without the great play by Cornelius Bennett. Going to come to your left as you're sitting in your living room. Watch 22. He's going to slide out late. And a good block. Gets to push the linebacker out of there.
Big George Hegeman is coming in. The former Dallas Cowboy. He is eligible as another tight end. Fire the motion man. Staley leaps. Touchdown. A beautiful drive by the Philadelphia Eagles, and Deuce Staley goes over from the one. Good blocking in the interior of the offensive line, and that's got to lift the confidence of the Eagles.
Well, Sam, guess what the play was? It was a 22 lead. 22 the jersey number, just a lead jump. So on that whole drive, they didn't gain a lot of yardage, but they roughed up the enemy. And this time they went after him physically. What I like, they're not trying to solve problems, Sam, with a new pass play. They're solving the problems from last week with knocking people down.
Chris Boniol looking to the sideline and waiting for somebody to come on in as the Eagles get set for the extra point. An 80-yard drive for the Philadelphia Eagles. Jesse Tuggle was shaken up on the play. And Tuggle now jogs to the sideline. Chris Boniol will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Tommy Hutton. Great start to the game for the Eagles. Boniol's kick is blocked. A big block. The Falcons break through and block the extra point try of Chris Boniol. Well, the Eagles march down the field and score 6 on the Staley leap.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
There's Jerry's dinner. They are cooking Jerry's dinner.
Well, that blocked extra point's pretty big. Here's your extra point. Watch the penetration inside. And they did a great job of roughing up the Falcons, but the Falcons didn't surrender. Look at the push. Look at the push and the big swat. That's a big play.
Yes, it is.
For the Falcons.
Boniol with a kickoff. And a return by Elijah Williams across the 25. And he's down at the 27-yard line. Elijah Williams, a rookie out of Florida. The Falcons go on offense when we come back. The extra point block has been credited to Travis Hall, the big defensive tackle.
It really was a play by the entire defensive line. They got such a big push. There's Travis Hall's new
hairstyle.
Yeah, that hair must have helped him. But they got such a push, they pushed the offensive line back for the Eagles. There was a team effort. Travis Hall got the ball.
Falcons from the 28. Bob Christian and Jamal Anderson in the backfield. Anderson carries for a couple of yards up to the 30-yard line. Take a look at the Falcons on offense. The 11-year veteran Chris Chandler is second year with the Falcons, armed with a new 5-year contract. And the offensive line, Big Bob Whitfield, the rookie, a seventh-round draft pick. Ephraim Salam, the right tackle, important position. Tony Martin in from San Diego to replace Bert Emanuel, who's gone. Terrence Mathis, the veteran, with 6 catches last week. From the 29-yard line. Chandler on the delay to Jamal Anderson. He's hit by Greg Jefferson, helped out by James Darling. Darling, number 57, the outside linebacker. Second-year man out of Washington State. Moved to the outside late last season. The Eagles defense, Bill Johnson came in from the Rams. Hugh Douglas came over from the Jets his 4th year. He's a big sack guy. William Thomas has been the defensive MVP 3 years in a row. James Darling outside, second-year man. Al Harris and Alan Rossum, the cornerbacks, replacing the injured Bobby Taylor and Troy Vincent. 3 wide receivers in for the Falcons on 3rd and 10. Chandler under pressure, gets away and throws deep, overthrows Tony Martin. Good pressure from the Eagles.
Well, before the ball was ever snapped, what they had was total communication. The safeties, Brian Dawkins, was trying to help the corner to his side, Sam. And if you watch Zordy's, he was pointing out that he was going to get the tight end. Last week with these young corners, the corners couldn't hear the communication, and they busted coverages and absolutely looked terrible. So far, so good this week.
Dan Straczynski, who led the
Hank
NFL.
Straczynski,
Yeah, 45 fair catches forced last season. The kick is high, and it's a beauty. Rosen from the 26, drops the ball, picks it up, and runs. Oh, here's a good return. Rosen is tripped up at the 42. Ruffin Hamilton tripped him up. Otherwise, Rosen would have gotten a lot more. Good field position for the Eagles as they force the Falcons 3 and out. Good job by the Eagles defense.
Absolutely, they got after him. And you said that when you interviewed him, you said they're going to get after the Falcons. You knew that in that meeting.
Darling and Thomas, they were pumped.
Absolutely.
Talk to them. The man in the middle, James Willis, the middle linebacker. Eagles from their own 42. Bobby Hoying was 6 for 6 on the first drive. Staley is hit and falls forward for about a yard.
And they had 7 rushes and 7 passes, so they look more like a pro football team. But they're running one play, Sam, and it's a lead out of different formations. And the lead means the fullback is going to come in first and try to make the block. That's Kevin Turner, and here comes 22, Deuce Staley following. This is the only play they're running, so there's no big mystery. They're just trying to knock him out of it.
That was Andre Crockett came in to make the stop on Staley. Fryer in motion, inside to Turner, bounces off, and thrown for a loss. Good play by the Falcons defense. Kevin Turner rushed for 54 yards last week on 8 carries. That was the lone bright spot for the Eagles, was their running game.
And really, when you get behind, you can't keep running the football. They got so far behind last week, they had to go to passing. And, of course, that led to blitzing and zone blitzing and knocking Bobby Hoying around. But I hope Hoying stays with that 3-step drop. This is 3rd and 10, so a 3-step drop doesn't work as good.
He's got 4 wide receivers in the lineup. This is a deep drop and a short screen. And Staley is brought down short of a first down.
And no blitzing by the Falcons, but a great play by Chuck Smith, because this screen was going for a first down. The right defensive end comes off the pass rush. He's off here, comes off the pass rush, and catches the deuce. But they have not blitzed him yet. Watch the right end. He's on it. There's the screen. He gets off the pass rush. He stops him from getting the first down. Nice effort by Chuck Smith.
The left-footed Tommy Hutton will punt. Tim Dwight is deep for the Falcons. Dwight led the NCAA in punt returns last season from the 15. Swings it wide. Surrounded. He is smothered at the 19-yard line.
Wow. That was a hit.
38-yard punt. Tim Dwight. He's mixing it up with the linebackers.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Visa, the official card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be. By the U.S. Army, be a part of the toughest, smartest Army in the world. Be all you can be. By Snickers, who'll be MVP? Play Snickers Shock Zone. And by Little Caesars Pizza, featuring the highest quality ingredients and dough made fresh daily.
Back at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. How about this hit on Tim Dwight?
Tim Dwight won't back away. He's a guy with great speed, but he'll take it right up at you. Look at the Eagles fly around, get after him. Ray Farmer, Brian Dawkins. Gonna be fun watching this game.
Mike Caldwell there as well. On first down, Chandler swings it out wide. Bobby Christian, the fullback out of the backfield, knocked out of bounds by Al Harris, but a first down pickup for the Falcons up close to the 35-yard line.
Fullback coming to the flat on the strong side. He's going to come right into your living room. If you're sitting up on the couch, get ready to duck. There it is. And a great hit by number 31, Al Harris. Woo!
Jerry, I think Christian and Turner are identical players. They can do it all. They can run inside. They can block well. They can catch out of the backfield.
You got to have people like that, and they both love to play football. They both love the game. Cover 2, they're trying to help the corners with a cover 2.
Chandler gets time, throws to the sideline, incomplete. Try to get it to Tony Martin. A little pressure from the outside by Greg Jefferson. Right now, let's go back to the Fox Network Center in L.A. to JB for an NFL update.
Sam and Jerry, in 2 starts last year, Danny Werfel able to put no points on the board. Boy, he changes that today. finds Sean Dawkins 64 yards to pay dirt. Boy, look at these Saints. Saints on top, 7-0 over Carolina. Back to Sam Rosen and my guy, Jerry Glanville.
Hey, James, my guy.
Hey, that was a good start.
I tell
Saints
you what,
looking pretty good.
Isn't that great?
Win last week, good start. Carolina lost last week to these Falcons. 2nd and 10, Chandler. Under pressure, gets rid of it, incomplete. Good pressure this time from Bill Johnson, who's known for his run-stopping ability. But the big guy got in there to pressure Chris Chandler.
And what's helping the young corners, remember we said the corners are in trouble. Cover 2 means the safeties will go deep over the top of both corners. So what they've done with the young corners, they're not leaving them alone. The corners only have the flat, Sam, and the safeties are deep over top, so they got 4 people covering 2.
One of the things that bothered Dan Reeves last week against Carolina was that the Panthers had 6 sacks on Chris Chandler.
That's a lot.
They don't want Chandler being hit.
3-man line for the Eagles, only 3-man line.
Harold Green, the lone setback. Everybody out. Chandler goes to the side, overthrown. Again, try to hit Tony Martin.
Well, Sam, I'm going to get you a new turkey because you said they're going to blitz him. They had a 3-man line, but all these linebackers are going to be involved in the blitz with a 3-man line. And they did not get to the quarterback, but they made him throw it. He thought there could be heat coming and a high pass.
So after 1 first down, Dan Straczynski is back on his 2nd punt of the game. This one is way up there, and a fair catch called for by Freddie Solomon. At about the 27-yard line. Straczynski's 37-yard punt with no return. Following this game, most of the country sees Troy Aikman and the Dallas Cowboys against John Elway and the Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos. Giants and the Raiders in Oakland. Bobby Hoying with a good start to this game. Checking off at the line. Deuce Staley busts a couple of tackles. Good effort by Deuce Staley, getting up to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play. Staley goes 5'11", 220 and runs hard.
Well, it's a short package for the lead play. Watch 34 again. 34, you remember, is Kevin Turner. Lead, fullback first. Boom, cutback. Now watch the second effort you're talking about. Running over people. Ran right over William White. He was fully compact when he walked in, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. 10 rushes for the Eagles. The play fake, Hoying with time gets it to Staley, and he fights his way up for a first down at the 40-yard line. Jesse Tuggle with a stop. Bobby Hoying playing with confidence this afternoon.
Well, bringing the ball out's giving them confidence, but I think those 10 runs is what's giving them confidence, Sam. They got 10 runs. The Atlanta Falcons, I think, got 2, and that's the difference. Last week, they didn't have a chance to do that. 7 rushes for the Deuce.
Deuce Staley, mostly used as a return man last season. His 2nd NFL start. Play fake. Hoying over the middle, complete to Irving Pryor up at midfield. William White in on the stop. Bobby Hoying now 9 for 9.
And Hoying did not throw it where he wanted to. He wanted to he wants to throw the ball all the way to the outside. He's covered, and he starts to look. He said, oh, he's not there. There's a guy inside. Fire it. So that was not his first choice. Good job scanning the field. Guys getting better. If they don't beat you down, if they don't knock you and sack you and hurt you, you can play.
Another first down for Bobby Hoying and the Eagles in Falcons territory. Staley gets a couple on the cutback.
Well, everybody in Philadelphia, same play. Same play. Now, when you see your best buddy and you're having a brewski, you can say, hey, the Eagles are running that lead. That's the lead for about the 10th time. Same play. They're not trying to fool Atlanta. They're trying to rough them up.
They're balancing the running and the passing.
You got to do that to protect this quarterback, or this quarterback wouldn't get a chance to finish the season.
Eagles with a 6-0 lead. Marching again. Swing it out to Staley. With Falcons in front of him, it gets close to the 40-yard line. They'll spot it around the 41.
That's the first blitz on Hoying, and they brought it off the tight end, the same side that he threw. He reads it. It's a blitz off the tight end side, and he hits the flare. He didn't see this last week. Watch how quick the ball comes out of his hands. Here's the 2-free blitzer. Ball's gone. It's an ugly pass. It's a wobble. It's got a tail. It doesn't matter. It's not in his hand. That's how he's got to play.
10 for 10 is Bobby Hoying.
Woo! I'll take that.
Final play of the first quarter. And the Eagles with a great start this afternoon. The short drop, there's pressure, and they got Chuck Smith, who led the Falcons with 12 sacks, gets his first of the season. A late flag is thrown.
And Bobby did not do what he promised us. He promised us yesterday he would not hold the ball, even if they're not open. Throw it away. Put it in the stands. He took a look, tried to move. Chuck Smith too fast, too good.
It's against the Falcons. Ron Winter, fourth-year referee.
I wonder what his favorite season is.
Ron?
Ron Winter. What do you think?
Summer.
I thought it was going to be fall,
No.
football.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Sam.
Holding. Defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
All right, watch Bobby. Bobby did not bring the ball out. I can't do it. They're on the ball. I can't show it to you this time. But wait, we'll bring it back to you.
First quarter comes to an end with the Eagles driving again. They lead the Falcons 6-0. We'll be back after these words from your local Fox station. Perfect first quarter for Bobby Hoying and the Philadelphia Eagles, who had ran 21 plays to just 7 for the Falcons.
What a difference a week makes. You look at the pads Bobby has for his ribs. It's hooked onto the shoulder pads, and when you get sacked 9 times, Sam, you look around, any pad in your locker you put on.
Chuck Smith's sack of Bobby Hoying was negated by the holding penalty. Staley on the cut. Gets to the 35-yard line.
Well, they ran a toss. That's a toss sweep. They've been running all that lead, and they said, well, we'll put a little variety in there, and we'll go wide. Didn't gain much.
The deuce.
And the deuce is called a deuce because it was Mama's second child.
Oh, that's very nice.
I don't know if his brother's name is Ace or not, but I know he's the deuce.
Deuce went to junior college for a couple of years before going to South Carolina. Jimmy Johnson, the tight end, in motion. Hoying gets time, and it's deflected away by Cornelius Bennett. And a flag goes in.
Falcons are claiming the ball was tipped, so you cannot pass interfere if the ball is tipped.
Ball was touched by the defense. There is no infraction on the play.
Thank you, Ron. You're exactly right, Coach. You wear a striped shirt over your blue shirt here?
Oh, I don't. Oh, no, not me. I promise you. The ball will be tipped at the line. Once the ball is tipped, all bets are off. Anybody can hit anybody. And there's what they thought was a pass interference, but they did not know that the ball was tipped. That was Ronnie Bradford smacking in there on the receiver.
3rd and long for the Eagles. Falcons have 6 defensive backs in the game. Freddie Solomon in motion.
Blitz, Sam.
Here they come. Hoying runs away. Hoying to the 30. Dives forward, close to a first down. Maybe a little bit short.
Well, what he did, though, he ran and got the field goal position. To me, this is a good play because you put the Eagles in a position to kick the field goal. And they brought the blitz. All the blitz is going to come off the right of your screen. Bobby's going to see it and scatter to the left side. And to me, it's a good scramble because it puts you in field goal position.
Going to be 4th down, and it looks like the Eagles going to go for it, Jared.
Well, how about that?
4th and about a yard.
Bobby knew better. Call timeout.
Yeah. All right, Eagles call timeout to talk it over. Early in the second quarter, the Eagles leading and looking for more.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Chevy Venture. The Venture is here. Let's go. By Budweiser. Now's the perfect time to enjoy a fresh, cold, Beechwood-aged Budweiser. By Sears. Come see the many sides of Sears. And by Gateway. Let's talk about your Gateway.
Eagles talked it over. They'll try the field goal.
Well, the reason Sammy kicked the field goal, you're not ahead 7-0. You're ahead 6-0. So you're not a touchdown ahead. This will turn it into 9-0. It makes a good decision by the Eagles because they're not ahead 7-0.
Out of the hold of Tommy Hunt, the 45-yard try.
Missed it.
No good. Boniol was 22 for 31 last season. They want a better percentage than that, but he misses from 45. Eagles still have a 6-0 lead. Fox NFL Sunday, a good one next week. Detroit and Minnesota. How about that NFC Central Division matchup? Other games, Green Bay and Cincinnati, Washington at Seattle, Chicago, Tampa Bay. It all begins with a pregame show. Check your local listings. Elijah Williams is in the backfield, number 21, rookie out of Florida, drafted as a cornerback, and his first carry in the NFL, he's thrown for a loss. Elijah Williams was a 3-year running back at Florida, and in his sophomore and junior years led Florida in rushing. Then he was switched to cornerback and was drafted as a cornerback. The Falcons looking for somebody to take some of the pressure off of Jamal Anderson, using Elijah Williams as a running back.
Well, now the Falcons are minus yards rushing for the entire game, and the Eagles are kicking their butt too bad to just be ahead by 6 points. That'll haunt you in this league. The way they're whipping them physically, they got to get some points.
Look at those numbers. Time of possession for the Eagles. Chandler on second down, looking to throw a screen, gets rid of it, it's incomplete. A flag goes down deep in the Falcons' backfield.
That's usually where they get you for a late hit on the quarterback.
It's a holding. This one's a hold on the Falcons.
On Atlanta. Why would you hold on the screen, Sam? Here's a screen play. Your screen play, you bump them and let them go. So the Eagles are going to turn it down because they still got long yardage.
Holding. Number 70 of the offense. Penalties declined. 3rd down.
Well, your tackle away from the screen, really, it's a left tackle, should run the cut block. He should get him on the ground by leg cutting him. Oh, look at that. He's got him hog-tied.
Yeah.
He's got him. Good call by the official.
Hugh Douglas, the man brought in to provide pass rushing help for the Eagles. They're missing their big pass rusher, Mike Mamula, out for the season. This is 3rd and 14 for Atlanta.
3-man rush again for the Eagles. Oh, and he's offside. 3-man offside.
Chandler in trouble, wrestled down hard, and a flag. That's too much. Be a penalty on the Eagles. 2 penalties. The offside and the unnecessary roughness. Al Wallace, the man who grabbed Chris Chandler and threw him down.
Well, that gives the worst penalty you can have is on 3rd down, Sam. You cannot have penalties on 3rd down to let your enemy have another shot.
Ron Winter talking it over.
Yep. Everybody saw something, so they're all talking. He's saying, I got this here. He's saying, well, I got that over there. And he's saying, I got my own. Offsides, personal foul.
Roughing the passer. All right, they'll mark it off. That hurts the Eagles.
The offsides, he just jumped early. Man, right over the center. He's on the ball. He should be looking at the ball. He leaves early, which makes... Here's the offsides.
That was Red Hall on the offside.
Now this is, they're blowing it. See the whistle? When he's blowing it, you got to quit dumping the quarterback. Nice job by Toback, the center. Went in to protect his quarterback. That's a 1st down.
Yep. And that really hurts. There's Al Wallace trying to defend what he did. That's Steve Everett, the injured center, and Ray Rhodes talking it over. That hurts the Eagles. They had a good defensive stop. Everett just got the cast off his foot. They hope to have him back in about 2 weeks.
The problem with those penalties, Sam, you got the ball. The ball's coming back to you. Now it's 1st and 10.
Yep.
Now your defense has to keep playing.
2 tight ends in for the Falcons. And it looks like there's some question as to where they're spotting the ball here. Dan Reeves was having a discussion along the sideline. Now we're ready to go. Ball spotted at the 32-yard line. Falcons have a first down on the roughing the passer penalty to the Eagles. Brian Kozlowski and O.J. Santiago, the two tight ends, Christian and Anderson in the backfield. Jamal Anderson fights his way through. Picked up about 5 on the play.
What they did, the Falcons got tired of getting roughed up, so they went 2 tights, 2 wideouts. I mean, 2 backs. This is the first time they run this 2 tight ends with 2 backs. They don't want the backside cutting down the running back. So this is the first time they've been in this formation, and they're just trying to give room for Jamal to make a cutback run, and they're in it again. So Dan Reeves has said enough's enough. We're going to run 2 tights, 2 backs.
Straight 1,000-yard seasons, rushed for 88 yards last week. Anderson again, not there. Bill Johnson with the hit right in the middle. The big tackle, 6'4", 305, his 7th year. Started with Cleveland, played with Pittsburgh, St. Louis last season.
I was watching the tight end, Sam. O.J. Santiago, the right tight end. His helmet went downfield 10 yards. And he looked around to see if his head was in it. That's how hard the Eagles are after him. There he is. He's putting his hand. He says, good, my helmet left, but my head stayed. And that's just a second-year guy, and he's not so sure he likes the way the Eagles are playing today.
3 wides in for Atlanta. Harold Green is the lone setback on 3rd and 3 for the Falcons. Chandler with time decides to run. Can he get for the first down marker? Yes, he did. A big scramble for Chris Chandler.
That's a big play because they haven't been able to convert on 3rd downs, and they had everybody covered. Chandler couldn't find anybody open, and they're helping the young corners, so the scramble will be there. They're doubling up, so the corner's not left alone, and that leaves that area in the middle to run like the quarterback just did.
Up at about the 49-yard line, Eagles with a 6-0 lead. 4.5 minutes gone by in this second quarter. Anderson and Christian in the backfield. Play fake by Chandler. He's looking for Terrence Mathis. He's got him. Wrestled out of bounds by Al Harris. A first down for the Falcons. And that's the hookup that the Falcons are looking for.
You see how that penalty hurts a football team. This time the Eagles came with the all-out blitz, which means the corner is alone. This corner's way, way off, but he is alone. That's Al Harris. No help. Break to the outside. He gives up the out on the blitz, so he doesn't give up the post. And they picked up the blitz and made it tough on the corners. Go back to that penalty, Sam. It changes everything.
Big play. Falcons at the Eagles 42. See the numbers on Terrence Mathis. Jamal Anderson gets to a good hole down around the 36-yard line. The left side of the line, Bob Whitfield, the left tackle, Calvin Collins, the left guard, leading the way for Jamal Anderson.
Again, the same play that the Eagles are running, they're just running that lead. Both teams are running straight at you and making the running back drag somebody along with him. And Jamal's one of the best drag guys around in the league.
The guy that the Falcons miss is Byron Hanspard, who was injured in their last preseason game. He's the change of pace back. He's the speed guy. Jamal's the power guy. Anderson 5 carries, 13 yards. 2nd and 4 Falcons. Off the play fake, Chandler finds Mathis was wide open. He missed him.
You got to take your hat off to the Philadelphia Eagles coaching staff. It's 2nd and short yardage, and they went to a cover 2. They knew it was going to be a pass. This corner's going to run up. He's over the top. This corner's going to run up. So they got 2 people on the wideouts. Look at this corner. He looks like he's alone. Look where the safety is. All kinds of great coverage to confuse the play-action pass.
Hollis Thomas got the hit on Chris Chandler. 3rd and 4 for the Falcons. Green and Anderson in the backfield. Chandler being rushed. And the ball's deflected and knocked down. Good play by James Darling as he was all over Terrence Mathis.
And watch the quarterback, Chandler, get smacked right on the leg. He's talking about it right now. They cannot play without Chandler. The pressure will come from the top of the screen, and he'll whack the quarterback right on the leg. There it is.
That's your man McTire, Tim McTire.
Tim McTire, maybe the toughest guy on the Eagles. If you're an Eagle fan, become a Tim McTire fan. He's the toughest guy I've seen play for the Eagles in a couple of years.
Dan Straczynski's third punt of the game. Freddie Solomon is back at around the 10-yard line. Straczynski looking for the corner, way up in the air, and it's out of bounds. No, it bounces in. And a good bounce for the Falcons. Chris Bain played it at the 9-yard line. Eagles stuck deep in their own territory. 27-yard pooch punt by Dan Straczynski. Art Shell, former Oakland Raiders head coach, now the offensive line coach for the Falcons.
What he's talking about is Tim McTire. He's on. You got to pick him up. Pick him up on that blitz. It was the nickelback, Tim McTire, putting the pressure on Chandler.
Eagles with a lead from their own 9-yard line. Bobby Hoying 10 for 11 thus far in the game. Staley breaks it outside. Good pickup. Flag goes down. Back at the 10-yard line.
Got a flag.
Ronnie Bradford in on the stop of Deuce Staley.
Deuce got some quickness, doesn't he?
This one's coming back, holding on the Eagles. Yes, he does.
He went to run up inside there, Sam, and you could see him do a little shoulder shake and bounce it. A penalty inside the 10. This is going to drive this coach crazy.
Holding. Number 72 of the offense. Penalized half the distance to the goal.
That's the number one.
Repeat first down.
The number 1 draft pick, Trey Thomas, out of Florida State.
Didn't play good last week in pass protection. And this week, holding on the run inside the 10-yard line. And you wonder why I didn't like college players. Bula players. That's why right there, Sam.
Come on now.
They're killing them.
Those guys can play. You just got to give them some time to develop.
Constantly.
Falcon fans, they want the defense to put the pressure on the Eagles. 1st and 15 from their own 4. Staley, big hole, gets up to about the 8-yard line. It closed down to hurry. Jesse Tuggle, the middle linebacker, number 58, in on the stop.
Well, you called Jesse Tuggle. If he didn't make that tackle, they had the lane there, Sam. He'd have picked up another 7-8 yards. So good tackle by Jesse. He's been leading this team in tackles ever since he walked on. A free agent. Nobody drafted him. Nobody wanted him. His college coach came up to the Falcons and says, just as a favor to me, let him try out. And done bad.
2nd and 11. Hoying swings it to Staley. Good play. Staley had to wait for that ball to come down. William White got there, made the tackle. Time for an NFL update. Let's go back to the Fox Network Center to JB.
Sam and Jerry, Jerome Bettis had a 42-yard run to set up this 1-yard bull run by Bettis. Yes, indeed, Steelers back in it. They're now on top of the Bears by 1. 7-6. Back to Sam and Jerry.
Bears had a tough loss to Jacksonville last week. Playing the Steelers tough here in Pittsburgh.
Everybody thought that they were going to be a joke. Well, it looks to me like they're rearing up on their hind legs and fighting a little bit, kicking like a wild horse.
3rd and long for the Eagles. 2 tight ends in. Hoying the short drop. Pressure. Throws it away deep. Out of bounds. Couple of hits. Dronette and Smith putting the heat on Bobby Hoying. And that's a big stop for the Falcons.
It's a good job by Bobby because he didn't try to make a play that wasn't there. He promised us last night if nobody's open, that ball's going out of bounds, and he had to throw it out of bounds there to get a safety.
Tommy Hutton, 7 yards deep in the end zone. Tim Dwight, the rookie return man, and a good one, standing at the Eagles' 49. And a great kick by Hutton.
Dwight all the way back to the 33. And he is wrapped up by Ike Reese at the 41-yard line. Dwight was standing at the Eagles 49. He had to backtrack 18 yards to catch that punt, a 58-yarder by Tommy Hutton. Outstanding defensive series for the Atlanta Falcons. But a real strong punt by Tommy Hutton. That got the Eagles out of serious trouble.
I was going to say before the punt, the field position is really changing in this game. Atlanta's going to have such great field position. They still got good field position, but nothing like we thought they were going to have.
Falcons haven't gotten much going offensively.
They have a total of 30 yards compared to 126 for Philly.
Elijah Williams, the lone setback. Two tight ends are in for the Falcons. Kozlowski, the man in motion. And the flag goes in. Take too long to get it off?
I didn't see what that penalty was. I catch most of them, Sam, but I was dazzled by what you were saying. I didn't catch the penalty.
Going to be a false start.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 69 offense. 5-yard
Gene
penalty.
Williams, right guard.
Remains first down.
When you're as big as Gene, you can't move around because America can see you.
Oh, yeah.
He had his own snap count. I like the other guard, Calvin Collins, 68, plays the left guard. Me studying film, I thought that was probably their best inside player was the left guard. And he knows the snap count.
Christian and Anderson in the backfield. Short drop. Chandler to O.J. Santiago, the tight end. Up back to the original line of scrimmage. James Willis made the stop. O.J. was injured in his rookie season.
Missed that season, didn't he?
He got off to a decent start. A little inconsistent with his hands. They'd like to get him involved in the offense, but they got to get some more confidence in his pass catching ability. Good blocker out of Kent State. 2nd and 9 at the 42-yard line with Anderson and Christian in the backfield. Everybody out. Chandler. Jamal Anderson taken down at midfield by Allen Rossum, the rookie out of Notre Dame, making the stop.
And again, the Eagles from last game, we talked to everybody. We talked to even James Willis. Said we got to help the corners. So again, they went into 2 people covering each wide receiver, and that's what leaves the inside open like that, throwing to those backs. It's cover 2, where the corner and the safety are both on one wide receiver. They're trying to help the young corners.
3rd and a long 1 for the Falcons. Mathis in motion to the line. Jamal Anderson finds the hole in a first down. He slipped a tackle. James Willis finally brought him down. Zordich made the initial hit, but Anderson a little too strong.
And Zordich's a good tackler. Not many people get by Zordich. And he's a safety walked up, and he's going to come on over here and try to make the hit. And gets a hand on his foot. But Jamal gets away. There it is right there. His head was behind him. Zordich will realize with Jamal, your head's got to be in front.
Elijah Williams is the lone setback. 2 tight ends in for the Falcons as well. Kozlowski goes in motion. Williams, the speed man, got a couple of yards on the play. He's in there to give Jamal Anderson a rest. The Falcons worked out 3 running backs who'd been cut by other teams this week.
Watch the cut here. This is what you're talking about. Jamal is a long strider. Watch this cut. And he makes the guy miss right there. That's James Willis just missing the tackle because of what you're talking about. It's a different flavor of running.
Leland McElroy, George Jones, and David Thompson all worked out for Dan Reeves early in the week, but they decided to put Elijah Williams in the backfield. Williams still in on 2nd and 8. Kozlowski, the motion man. A reverse. Martin can throw it, and it's short. A one-time quarterback. Flag goes in. Tony Martin, one-time collegiate quarterback.
Well, he looked like me throwing on that one. I don't know where. He can't throw anymore. Better just go out and catch passes. That was an ugly throw by Tony.
And on top of that, it's a penalty on the Falcons.
With the field position, the Eagles should take this, but this is one of those do you or don't you take, as it ends up 3rd. He's going to move it.
Pass interference. Number 88 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
O.J. Santiago, the man who committed the penalty.
Watch Martin. You're bragging on him. He's going to hit like now. It's a reverse. And now it's a pass.
A good play by Rosen. He stayed right with him.
Yeah, he had a man-to-man. So you take the guy wherever he goes. And the fact he ran the reverse, Rosen knew, I'm running with him.
2nd and 18. 3 wide receivers in for Atlanta. Pressure coming from Brandon Whiting, and the big hit on Chandler got rid of it. It's incomplete, and Chandler's shaken up. There's the first big hit on Chris Chandler.
Well, the blitz was delayed. The delayed blitz gets the quarterback on a scramble.
It was the safety, Brian Dawkins.
Watch Brian. He says, oh, I'm too late. Well, I'll go anyway. It's an excuse me hit. I'm coming. Oh, now watch him. Oh, I'm too. Okay. Boom.
Got him.
And Chandler cannot afford to get hit too many times because he's it for the Falcons. Nice stick by Brian Dawkins.
Brings up a 3rd and 18.
This is where I always let the quarterback call the play.
Screen. Harold Green picks up a couple of blocks, spun around, and he's way short of a first down. Eagles do a good job of getting to the ball.
We asked Darlin, how are you going to stop this offense? One word. He said swarm. You want to see the swarm in Philadelphia? Watch the gang tackling. Darlin says we got to swarm them. We got to get everybody there. There's a white shirt. There's a white. There's a hey, hey. There's 5 of them.
Darlin would have had trouble playing on your team, right?
Darlin? Yeah. I call everybody Darlin. He would have had a. I'd say, okay, Darlin. That could have been anybody. He'd have been answering me the whole time.
Straczynski with his 4th punt of the game. Freddie Solomon deep for Philadelphia. Good high kick. Fair catch. Solomon at the 12-yard line. Over 5 seconds hang time on that one. 2:40 to go in the first half. And the Eagles holding the 6-0 lead. 36-yard punt. No return by Dan Straczynski. Tonight, the best on television begins with the world's funniest, followed by Holding the Baby and The Simpsons. Then it's the fall's grooviest comedy, That 70s Show, followed by a Fox special, Inside the X-Files. It all starts tonight at 7, 6 Central. What's inside the X-Files?
I love the X-Files because most of my family appear on that show. I love watching those people.
Eagles from their own 12-yard line, late first half. Hoying checking off. Staley and Turner in the backfield. The pump fake over the middle, wide open Irving Fryer. Eugene Robinson brings him down at the 39-yard line, but a good connection. Bobby Hoying and Irving Fryer. 26-yard pickup for the Eagles.
Well, he faked a 3-step drop. He went 1-2 fake, and that opened up the post. Watch it. It's going to be fake hitch. Whoop, just kidding. Down the middle.
Garnett has been active on the defensive line. Staley cutting back inside up to the 44-yard line. Coming down to the 2-minute warning. The Eagles with the ball on the move and a 6-0 lead. Back in Atlanta right after this.
2-minute warning.
Stay with us for the Visa halftime report. JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris have scores and highlights from around the league. Our Fox Sports ticker has up to the second stats coming up on the Visa halftime report. I bet the guys were glad to be home in L.A., huh? JB's new home in L.A. See the numbers. Eagles 158 yards total. Atlanta 55, but still it's only a 6-point game.
That's the problem. They're really giving them a butt whipping. Oh, there's a penalty.
That flag comes in. On the Falcons.
Reached over, grabbed him, pulled him around. What I was saying is the Eagles, when you whip a guy this bad, you better not let him hang around. They're letting the Falcons hang around. They only got 6 points.
This will be on Atlanta. Gives the Eagles a first down.
Pass interference. Number 23 in the defense. Penalized at the spot of the foul. First down.
Ronnie Bradford decided to tackle rather than cover. It's right here. Watch Ronnie hook him right here. At his left arm, pull him around.
Jeff Graham, the intended receiver. Eagles a first down in Falcons territory. Everybody out. Screen to Staley. His 7th reception of the game. Good yardage. First down and more. Staley spins. Can he get to the end zone? He's brought down from behind.
Timeout. Timeout.
Big pickup. That was Lester Archambault, the defensive end, that had to chase him down. Great pickup for Deuce Staley. 34 yards.
I thought they'd spike the ball to call the timeout. They're just walking around. I don't like this.
They got time, though, Jerry.
Yeah, but you may need all that time.
Now the whistle goes off as one of the Falcons, Randy Fuller, went limping to the sideline.
The reason I thought they'd get the clock and give you a chance to run the ball a few more times, which they're doing a good job with.
Well, this deep in Falcon territory, I think they got plenty of time to work with. Ray Rhodes checking something.
Timeout. Charge to Atlanta for the injured player in the last 2 minutes.
All right. Fuller went limping off. Big pickup here to Deuce Staley. Little screen.
Little screen. And watch the great effort by the Falcons defensive line chasing. You called it. Archambault playing the left defensive run, runs all the way downfield. Wasn't for him. Maybe the Deuce has got one.
I think so. Deuce got his first NFL touchdown in the first quarter on a 1-yard dive. Eagles at the Falcons 14.
Flip backfield pass.
Hoying with time to the corner. Overthrown. Intended for Irving Fryer, and he was well covered on the play by Ray Buchanan.
Well, he did that little fake pump that worked so good when he had all the field, but the fake pump didn't move anybody down here inside the 20.
Only the 3rd incompletion of the game for Bobby Hoying.
You're talking about a guy here who had 12 yards passing last week. Total.
Well, he passed for 60, but he got sacked for 48, so the net was 12. Look at the numbers today. 4 wide receivers for the Eagles. Everybody out. Hoying with time. Freddie Sullivan the catch. He was down. He was down. Keith Brooking, the first-round draft pick out of Georgia Tech, made the tackle, and Bobby Hoying signals for a timeout.
Timeout. Philadelphia. Their second, a 30-second timeout.
30-second timeout because we're inside the 2 minutes. And it is remarkable how you can play so much better when the big train isn't coming down hitting you all the time. Some people in Philadelphia said Bobby Hoying had quick feet. His feet were moving around like he was afraid. And I say if you stand on a railroad track, Sam, and let that big train come at you, your feet better move.
Yeah, and better move quick, too.
And he just got hit too much. If you protect this guy, he's a competitor. He loves football, and he can win. But you got to protect the quarterback.
The one time he was sacked this afternoon, the Falcons were called for a penalty that negated it. They've done a good job of protecting him.
And the Falcons have only blitzed 3 times. You wonder, what the Falcons are thinking about. They're not coming after him.
In the red zone. 3rd and 6. Everybody out. Hoying completes. First down to the 1-yard line. Freddie Sullivan. Brought down by Brooking again. Outstanding job by the Eagles. With the clock running, the ball's on the 1-yard line. And Hoying spikes it to stop the clock. He's saving the 1 timeout remaining just in case they need it for a field goal. But want to talk things over. 43 seconds remaining in the first half, and the Eagles.
You're at the 1-yard line, Sam. You want to run it here, but your only enemy now is the clock. A lot of people, with a minute 30 say, we got plenty of time. All of a sudden, you run out of time.
Bringing the big boys in.
They're going to go 3 tight ends.
Number 69 is reporting as eligible.
The only problem here, Sam, is when you run it, the clock keeps running.
8th play of this drive. 69 is Big George Hegeman, who goes at 3:31. Fryer in motion. Staley the dive. Flag goes down. But there's a flag on the play. We got to check it out. He broke the plane. Well, we'll see what the penalty is. It's against the Eagles. Well, that wipes that one out.
Now you have to change your formation. Now you got to come with your wide
Illegal
receivers.
shift. 2 men moving, did not get set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty.
Now a tight end comes
Repeat
out for a
first down.
wideout.
38 seconds remaining in the first half. Ball's back to the 6-yard line.
They got the 1 timeout, so they can throw it, Sam, throw it, and run on the 3rd down and get the timeout if the draw doesn't pop. This is a pass down, but they're in a run formation, Sam.
With Turner and Staley.
There they go.
Now Turner goes to the wing. Fryer, the motion man. Boying looks, dumps it off, incomplete.
Wow. Now this is 3rd down, Sam. The ball has to end up in the end zone. I don't want a dink or a dunk. They got to have it incomplete in the end zone or a touchdown. Put the ball in the end zone. Otherwise, you're going to kick the field goal regardless. So this whole deal here, the coaches ought to have a play where the ball lands in the end zone. Don't do anything else, or I'm jumping off this. What are we standing on here? A table?
Yeah.
Jumping off this table.
No, don't do that. I don't want you to get hurt now. 4 wides in for Philadelphia with Turner the lone setback.
Audible. I don't like the audible inside the 10-yard line. That's an audible.
And flags go down. The play is stopped. Delay of the game.
On the road, Sam, you don't audible inside the 10-yard line because the crowd noise will make somebody bust the play for you.
2 penalties have hurt the Eagles inside the 10.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
That's not good football. You don't audible down there on the road. You do that at home unless your home crowd doesn't like you and they're booing you. I've had a little bit of that too.
Even if you don't like what you see when you come to the line?
Well, there's certain plays you got to make the adjustment by visual. You look at it and your receiver looks at it and adjustments without an audible.
4 wideouts in for Philadelphia. It's 3rd and goal from the 11. Everybody out. Pressure on Hoying. Looking, running. Out of bounds at the 7-yard line. And the Eagles will have to settle for a field goal here. They had gotten down to the 1-yard line, but 2 penalties hurt them. The illegal shift and then the delay of game.
But if they make this field goal, it's big because, remember, 6 points. The blocked extra point is staring you in the face, and it never goes away. When that happens to you, I look at that clock 2 hours later, and that extra point is still big.
Bonyol missed one from 45 earlier. This one will be from 24. Out of the hold of Hutton. And the kick is good. And the Eagles have a 9-0 lead. An important field goal. A good drive by the Eagles. It stalled at the 1 because of the penalties, but they came from deep in their own territory.
It's really a good half for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Remember when the Eagles on defense made a stupid mistake, got a penalty on 3rd down, gave them a 1st down. They got away from that one. Then they got trapped way down inside their own 5, and they got away with that with a good punt. It's a good day for Coach Ray Rhodes.
Good job by Ray Rhodes getting his team ready after the 38-0 loss.
Well, it's fun. The players we talked to and Ray Rhodes we talked to, nobody was down or depressed.
Visa halftime reports coming up. JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris back in the studio in L.A. Scores and highlights. Fox Sports ticker with up to the second stats. You get it all right here on the Visa halftime report.
I got a Visa card, but they keep telling me I'm maxed out.
Really?
Yeah, how can I charge more?
Give me the phone. I got to talk to them. Do they know who you are?
Yeah, that's why they said I couldn't charge anymore.
Oh, okay. Tim Dwight and Elijah Williams are deep for Atlanta. Dwight number 83, Williams number 21, both rookies. 80-yard drive for the Eagles. Ends up with a field goal by Bonyol.
For 23 seconds, we'll see if they kick it deep. No, good, smart coaching.
On
Bounce
the ground, big bounce. Kozlowski, the tight end, picks it up. Going outside, trying to get to the sideline. And a flag goes down. 2 flags go down. Good run back by Kozlowski to get to the 40-yard line, but I think this will be against the Falcons.
I like the call by the Eagles. The Eagles are coaching today. They didn't kick it deep and let Tim Dwight get the ball in his hands. That's good football.
But again, penalties hurting both teams. Here the Falcons are going to lose pretty decent field position, even though they have only 17 seconds. It would have been up across the 40-yard line.
Holding. Number 83 during the return. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Well, now we'll see what the Eagles do with the two young corners in a 2-minute situation. There's only 17 seconds, but still I would not leave them alone. I would double with these two young corners.
Falcons had 11 penalties last week at Carolina. They've got 5 in the first half this week. That's going to make Dan Reeves pretty upset. Ball spotted back at the Atlanta 27. Chris Chandler calling the play in the huddle. Falcons have 3 wide receivers.
I don't like what they're doing with the corners. They did not come out and double with the rookie corners.
Chandler. Block. Red Hall, number 97, who injured his knee right here in Atlanta last season, underwent off-season knee surgery, coming back from that, made the block on the pass by Chris Chandler.
Remember how good Red Hall was before surgery.
Yes, he was.
He was a real force. 97, push, shove, getting double. Now hands up. Real low throw.
Yeah. 12 seconds remaining.
There's the double. Now everybody's double now with deep help. Now they're waking up here.
Everybody out. The completion to Dwight. Rather to Kinchin, excuse me. And he's brought down around the 34-yard line. And that'll do it. First half over. Good first half for the Philadelphia Eagles. Bouncing back. Strong first half for the Falcons. Not a good one in their home opener. You can see the look on Dan Reeves' face. He's got to get the team back together. Attitude, he says, is a big thing. And the Falcons didn't have the attitude in the first half.
Well, I think the Falcons should feel pretty lucky. I think if I was Dan Reeves, I'd say, you know what? How can you play any worse? But we're only 9 points back. And if I'm with the Eagles, I'm a little bit worried letting them hang around. You kick their butt. That was about as good a butt kicking as we've seen. And they're not far enough ahead. They've got to come out and keep the intensity going, but they're going to have to get some points, Sam.
But the Eagles did a lot of good things.
Oh, they did a lot of good things. They did a lot of double coverage to help the young corners.
The most important thing they did was they protected the quarterback. Bobby Hoying really looked good in the first half.
And they protected the defense, Sam, by running the football and taking the clock.
End of the first half. It's the Eagles 9, the Falcons nothing. Sunday NFL continues right after these messages. Our question today comes from Kerry Yanazzo of Houston. What did Dan Reeves do in Atlanta to change the attitude here?
Well, as I look around, I think the biggest change is with the players. In the last 4 years, there's only 3 guys still on the roster that were here 3 years ago. So I think some of the players that may have caused a problem with the previous coach, they sort of ushered him out the door, and the players know he's in charge. You do it his way, or you go out the door.
Brought in some players with some leadership, like Eugene Robinson coming in this year. Now, in the first half in this game, the Philadelphia Eagles, they controlled the play in the first half, scored the only touchdown in the first quarter. Good drive.
But they played excellent, and they protected the quarterback, and the runs, I think, helped. There's the field goal, which they really needed because they got that extra point block as bait. Went to 9-0. But I think really if you're an Eagle coach and you're in the locker room, what you're saying, Sam, is we're letting them hang around. We're absolutely whipping them. They're giving them a good butt kicking, but they're not scoring enough points. They got to go get some points. In the NFL, if you let a team hang around, Sam, pretty soon they catch up to you.
Yeah, but the Eagles did a lot of good things on offense, but also a lot of good things on defense and got some good pressure on Chris Chandler.
And really they're doing it without the they got pressure with some blitz, but they haven't blitzed all out every time. There's the penalty. That was a foolish hit on the quarterback. There's the blitz coming off the corner. And there's a blitz coming out of the deep secondary with Dawkins.
Now, early in the game, they were bringing the linebackers. Now they're bringing the safeties in the corner, so the Eagles are mixing it up pretty well.
Well, good point that you make. The linebackers got picked up in the blitz, so now when they do blitz their dog, they're bringing the people out of the secondary.
All right, what do the Falcons have to do to get back in the game? Well, not that they're out of it, but to get back and get their momentum going.
Well, the first thing they got to do, they got to rear up on their hind legs, and they got to learn to fight. I think they're taking a butt kick in here, and it looks like they enjoy it. You got to fight back a little bit here, and I know Dan Reeves in the locker room Whew, I bet he smoked a few people.
Wait a second. I can't believe anybody enjoys taking a butt kicking.
Well, I say that they don't look like they're putting up a fight. I mean, the bottom line, I used to tell the team, you know, it's bad enough we're getting our butt kicked, but it looks like we like it. Let's fight back a little bit.
Ray Rhodes wants to keep his team going. They played a good first half. First half, rushing edge to the Eagles. Passing, great first half for Bobby Hoying. See the total yards, big edge to the Eagles. But as Jerry said, only a 9-point differential. Time of possession and no sacks.
No sacks. What a difference. This kid Hoying can play, but you cannot play in the National Football League if you're just trying to survive and not get injured.
Now look at the comparisons here. Bobby Hoying, 15 for 20. Chris Chandler just 6 for 15, and his two key wide receivers that we talked about, Mathis and Martin, caught 10 passes last week, only 1 so far in this game.
And that's because of the coaching of the Eagles. The reason that the wide receivers for Atlanta aren't catching passes is the coverage of the Eagles, and the coverage is cover 2. And remember, in cover 2, you have 2 people on each wideout, so 4 Eagles are covering the 2 wideouts.
So the Eagles have done a good job of helping out those young cornerbacks and keeping them from getting burned, Al Harris and Allen Rossum.
They haven't left them out there much at all. Here's the rushing game. The number of rushes is big. 16 rushes to 9. And if Philadelphia can do that again this half, they'll go home feeling a whole lot better about their team than they did a week ago.
Deep for Atlanta, number 83, Tim Dwight, number 21, Elijah Williams. Chris Boniol, the kickoff to start the second half. This is a short kick. Williams comes up, and it's out of bounds.
Wow, that was bad.
Yes, it was. Bad kick. Chris Chandler has been pressured this afternoon by the Eagles.
Kickoff out of bounds. By rule, the ball is placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
They only had 1 sack, but they got 8 hurries, 5 knockdowns, and we used to coach our line. A batted pass is as good as a sack. Bat those passes down, and they force them to scramble twice.
Good field position on the bad kickoff. The ball at the 40-yard line for the Falcons. Jamal Anderson and Bob Christian in the backfield. Mathis in motion. The play fake. Dumps it off to Mathis. Ran past his blocker. The rookie from Salam, number 74, and Mathis with just a short pickup. Hollis Thomas, number 78, made the tackle.
Well, it was a bootleg. Most bootlegs go to the tight end dragging. But one thing Chandler likes to do is find the wide receivers in the bootleg. Although they didn't gain much yardage, that was the plan. If he could break a tackle, Terrence Mathis had speed to get a lot of yardage.
Greg Jefferson is out of the lineup for the Eagles. John Harris, number 90, is in at the left defensive end spot. 2nd and 7. Another play fake for Chandler, and he fires this one complete to Tony Martin, who breaks loose and is brought down inside the 25. The ball popped loose, and Martin has it back. First catch of the game for the veteran Tony Martin, who came over from the San Diego Chargers for a 2nd-round draft pick. Allen Rossum made the tackle.
Watch the corner hang outside. He's going to give this route to the safety. The safety has the inside route. See the corner hanging outside. So at home you may think the corner got beat, but it really was the safety had the inside cut of the wideout.
34-yard pickup, the Falcons' biggest play of the game thus far. From the Eagle 23, Jamal Anderson was tripped up by Brian Dawkins, the safety. Falls forward for a couple of yards on the play. Hollis Thomas finished off the tackle.
And Brian Dawkins didn't get up, Sam. He's still laying down on the field.
Another injury to the Eagles secondary. They're without Troy Vincent, who aggravated a quadriceps muscle injury last week. Bobby Taylor's out with a shoulder blade injury.
Well, the guy that comes in while he's hurt is Tim McTire.
They check on Brian Dawkins. We're early in the second half with the Eagles leading 9-0.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, who reminds you the 3 most important words are, hey, beer, man.
Back at the Georgia Dome. Tim McTire has replaced Brian Dawkins on 2nd down. Chandler looking toward the end zone, throwing, complete touchdown to the tight end, Brian Kozlowski.
What a throw on a seam pass. The tight end ran right down the seam, and you give Chandler time. Nobody has a better touch on a deep ball, and the ball is a frozen rope right on the money.
Falcons go 60 yards in a hurry. 2 big pass plays. One to Tony Martin, the 19-yard touchdown pass to Brian Kozlowski. Chris Chandler has now tied a Falcons record by throwing a touchdown pass in 14 consecutive games. The extra point, Morton Anderson. It's through. And now it's a 9-7 game. The Falcons get on the board to start the second half. Kozlowski scores the touchdown. 12th career catch for Brian Kozlowski, his 3rd career touchdown.
And he ran an excellent route, Sam. He faked like he was going to go to the outside and then got in there behind Michael Zordich.
And he just went off into the Falcons locker room. Morton Anderson to kick off. The complexion of this game has totally changed. The deep man is Rosen at the goal line. With great speed, he looks for a hole. He's tripped up. A flag comes flying in as Rosen goes down across the 20. And we'll check out the penalty here. The Eagles go on offense. And we'll see what the call is. From Ron Winter, a university professor.
He is.
Yes, he is.
Holding. Number 58 during the return. Penalized half the distance to the goal. First down.
Ike Reese called for the hold.
Watch Brian. Brian Kozlowski is going to come up fake like he's that way, and then cuts back underneath Michael Zordich, and what a throw. Right on the money.
Chris Chandler ties the Falcon franchise record that he now shares with Steve Bartkowski and Chris Miller. On first down, Deuce Staley across the 10-yard line. Lester Archambault, number 92, made the tackle.
Poor field position because of a penalty again, and that's really one thing that has hurt the Eagles is their field position.
Each team with 5 penalties in the game. It's an important series for the Eagles. As the Falcons try to build some momentum, Staley is stopped in the backfield. Finished off by Chuck Smith. Looked like Travis Hall made the first hit.
Well, the line penetrated along with Lester Archambault. Watch Lester. Lester gets right up underneath the blocking tight end, Jimmy Johnson.
And then finished off.
And everybody's there, Sam.
2 good plays by Lester Archambault. His 9th NFL season. Acquired in '93 in a trade with Green Bay. 3rd and 8 for the Eagles. Staley the lone setback. Boying under pressure. Down he goes. Travis Hall, who had 10.5 sacks last season. Great series for the Falcons.
Well, the Eagles had a 3-step drop on 3rd and long. Your 3-step drop, Sam's got to be 3rd and short or 1st and 10. They had full pressure contact on the corners, so Bobby had no place to throw the football.
Tom Hutton, 8 yards deep in the end zone. Tim Dwight, the deep man for Atlanta, toward the sideline. White lets it bounce at the 45. It's out of bounds. Falcons will have great field position at the Eagles' 46. The Eagles still have the lead, but the Falcons are coming on. We're talking baseball on Saturday. Yankees still have a chance for the American League record for most wins. They play the Orioles. Red Sox trying to hold on to the wild card spot in the American League. 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. It's Fox Baseball Saturday. It's here, and we want you to watch it.
And you're a Yankee fan, aren't you?
You betcha.
You love those Yankees.
Chandler, first half, no good. Starts the second half, good shape, 3 for 3. From the Eagle 46, Greg Jefferson back in at defensive end on the left side for the Eagles. Everybody out. Complete to Tony Martin at the 26-yard line. The Eagles now without Brian Dawkins. They're without Taylor and Troy Vincent to start the game. Dawkins has gone to the locker room with a sprained wrist, left wrist.
And Allen Rossum, this time there is no double coverage. He is alone. He's got him on the zone. Wants a little help on the inside cut, but he's too tall in the back pedal. Standing up too straight, too late on the hip rotation.
Tony Martin was shut out in the first half, has 2 catches here in the third quarter. Christian and Anderson in the backfield. Jamal Anderson falls forward for about a yard. The Eagles do a good job up front. And then William Thomas, the defensive MVP the last 3 years, came up to make the final stop. Here's William Thomas. 8th year out of Texas A&M. Jamal Anderson. And 2 times to the Pro Bowl for William Thomas. Chris Chandler making the call. Jamal Anderson, 8 carries, 21 yards. 3 wide receivers in for the Falcons. Todd Kinchin has joined Mathis and Martin. Harold Green's in the backfield with Jamal Anderson. Delay to Anderson. Tripped up. Good play by Tim McTire. He got there in a hurry.
And we got a flag on the play, Sam.
We'll check this out.
Holding on Atlanta.
We'll set him back. Eagles will take the penalty.
Holding. Number 89 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Todd Kinchin called for the hold. Here's Tim McTire on the penetration.
Well, we liked him. We saw him play in the preseason, number 24 against New England. Excellent hitter. Got a hold of his leg. Got past the push block.
He was the guy being held by Kinchin.
And you know what? We got to talk to him yesterday. How'd you like interviewing him?
He's a good guy.
Played at BYU.
Blitz coming. They pick it up. And it's overthrown, intended for Tony Martin.
Oh, that was scary. About 2 officials went to the flag and then didn't pull it out. Because there was a little I watched both officials. I had them both in. I can see one with my right eye, one with my left. If the officials would have crossed, I'd have lost both of them. But I was watching them both.
They had that move, huh?
They had the hand ready. And I thought there was going to be a flag. Take a look in your living room. You decide.
And
it's poor technique. Allen Rossum has poor technique. He's in trouble.
Falcons have to get to the 15-yard line for first down. Here comes the blitz again. And it's incomplete. Matt Stevens is going to get called for the roughing the passer.
Well, you can't hit the quarterback in the head. He jumped up to try to bat the ball, and I believe his arm or something struck the head of the quarterback.
Matt Stevens, who was out with an injury last week, back in the lineup. He's called for roughing the passer. The second roughing the passer
all-out blitz.
Penalty. Sorry, Jerry.
All-out blitz. And they get the penalty. Trying to jump up and swat the ball.
Foul. Roughing the passer. Illegal contact to the head. 15 yards. First down.
That really hurts the Eagles.
Right here, out of trouble. They got out of trouble. The corners are having a hard time, so they bring more than they can block. And he ducked into him. Boy, that's tough. The quarterback ducks as you're jumping. It's a tough call, but you're not allowed to hit a quarterback in the head. And that's in the head. The head still is attached right above the shoulders.
Matt Stevens, third-year man out of Appalachian State. Each team with 6 penalties, but that's a big one, giving the Falcons a first down at the Eagles' 19. Two tight ends in. Long count by Chandler. Jamal Anderson. Short pickup. Zordich was there. So was James Willis, the middle linebacker.
The crowd is booing like they're bored with the play selection. But what the Falcons have done, they've come back in with two tights and two backs because they were not getting anything done. They couldn't cut off the backside pursuit, so that's why you're seeing that formation.
Look at those Vikings doing it again, beating St. Louis. Jacksonville over Kansas City. Woo-hoo. And Baltimore winning in New York over the Jets. Good tight end formation. Chandler swings it to Bob Christian. Tripped up. Good play by Tim McTire, and a late flag goes in.
Well, I got to do the preseason game. We got a flag on this, but I got to do the preseason game with the Eagles versus New England. And one guy jumped out on the film, 24, Tim McTire. I came away saying, this guy is special. He tackles the guy going out, swings out, sees the back coming, and he's full speed contact, always after you, and always Michael Zordich doing the cleanup.
It's against the Eagles. Bob Christian still down, shaken up on the play. Let's take a look and see what happened here.
Automatic first down.
Eagles shooting themselves in the foot here.
Christian was in a spot there where he couldn't protect himself. He was half stumbling, half trying to run.
He got popped pretty good on the way down.
He's the guy I drafted when I was here.
Checking out the left leg. Good player, very valuable to the Falcons. Timeout on the field. We'll be right back.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By Norelco, for an unexpectedly close shave, put it to the test. By DirecTV, what are you looking at? And by Microsoft, where do you want to go today?
Falcons a first down at the Eagles' 12-yard line, and in the red zone, no quarterback was better than Chris Chandler last season with 13 touchdown passes. Jamal Anderson inside, hit by Hollis Thomas as he crosses the 10. The penalty was on Tim McTire for holding, which gave the Falcons the first down.
Well, Tim grabbed the tight end before he went off to get the back flaring. And he'll learn in this league, a man stares at the tight end. One official's job every single play is to stare at the tight end to see if there's pushing, shoving, or grabbing. And he grabbed the tight end before he went off to cover the back.
Bob Christian is limped to the bench, and his left ankle is being checked out by the Falcons medical staff. Two wide outs in for the Falcons. The pass is complete to the 1-yard line to Terrence Mathis. Alan Rossum on the coverage, but the Falcons are knocking on the door.
Well, that's tough on young defensive backs. They got in a covey by a covey. All the wideouts motioned and came close together and then spread out, took off different ways. Watch the motion when they come in here and everybody takes it off in a different direction.
Gary Downs has replaced Bob Christian in the backfield. 3 tight ends in for the Falcons. First and goal from the 1. Anderson. No signal. Yes, touchdown. The Falcons take the lead as Jamal Anderson bulls his way in. Led by the center, Robbie Tobeck, the left guard, Calvin Collins. Atlanta fans can smile, and it's got to be Jamal's family, I would think.
Well, they're all here. And we said that the Eagles could get in trouble letting them hang around, whipping them like they did the first half, but not enough points.
Morton Anderson with the extra point. Falcons have scored 2 touchdowns here in the third quarter. and have taken the lead. Jamal Anderson goes in from the 1. Falcons lead 14-9. Sam Rosen, Jerry Glanville at the Georgia Dome as we get set to start the 4th quarter, with the Falcons leading the Eagles 14-9. Bobby Hoying has had a great afternoon. What a bounce back day for him. 19 for 26.
Wow.
215 yards.
Amazing when a little protection would change your thoughts, beliefs on your own quarterback.
2nd and 9 for the Eagles at the Falcons 16. Hoying for the end zone, incomplete. Nobody in that area.
Wow, that was a bad
Pryor
throw.
was down the right sideline.
I don't know what he was. He thought a different route was coming. He was thrown to a spot on the field, and there was nobody that was in the same universe with him going to that spot.
Yeah.
Somebody went to planet Mars on that play.
Now let's see if the Eagles get on the same planet on this play. 3rd and long. Staley comes out to the left side. Turner the lone setback. Hoying down at the 15-yard line. Shane Dronette. Hoying felt pressure and ran and comes up limping.
Comes up limping. He didn't stay long before he took off, and that's what he told us. He was going to let the ball go. Well, he didn't let the ball go, but he did take off. Looks like fell on the back of his leg. Shane Dronette. He's got a hitch in his get along.
Yeah. Boniol for a 31-yard attempt. Hutton the hold. And Boniol is 2 for 3 in the game.
A flag.
Flag has gone in. Holding. Oh, boy.
Probably the wing back. When they call holding, it's usually the right wing back trying to stop a man from coming around the corner to block the kick. So they'll be penalized and have to kick over.
Number 90, the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
And the story of the second half has been the Eagles with bad penalties.
Call it over here. Wow.
He reached out with the right arm. I don't know if they called that.
He's the right wing back. I didn't see it.
So now here comes a 41-yard attempt for Boniol. And this one is good. So he is 2 for 3. The Eagles close to within 2 points. Falcons with a 14-12 lead.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Coors Light, frost brewed to tap the clean taste of the Rockies. By Domino's, delivering 1 million smiles a day. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher, you either have it in you or you don't. Life is a sport, drink it up. And by Castrol Syntec, the active lubricant.
Back at the Georgia Dome, the backup quarterback Rodney Peete just loosening up just in case. Bobby Hoying limped off the field. And if he can't come back in, Rodney Peete will be in the game. Chris Boniol kicks it off. Tim Dwight and Elijah Williams deep. It's Dwight at the 4. Looks for the wedge, cuts back inside. Dwight moving to the 38-yard line. That's Mr. Excitement, the rookie from Iowa.
We talked about him in the pregame. Tim Dwight from Iowa, Iowa City, Iowa. He almost ran all the way home. This is the return. Tim Dwight, Iowa City, Iowa, did everything he could in high school football and track. You can see why he was a track star. Watch the acceleration. Plus, he's full speed contact. Goes right after people, Sam.
Just plowed right into Farmer and Love. Tim Dwight. Everybody had him rated as the top return man on the draft board. And
I can see why.
The Falcons took him in the 3rd round.
Iowa City, Iowa.
Excuse me, fourth round pick.
He's a little bit crazy. That's not all bad.
Falcons from their own 39. The play fake. Chandler completes to Tony Martin. Out of bounds runs across midfield for a first down. Chandler was 6 for 15 in the first half. He is 6 for 8 here in the second half.
Watch this coverage, Sam. You and I could have thrown us. The corner's so far off, and he has no chance to drive the out route. Wow. There's no way you're going to cover any route. Look at that.
That's the rookie, Allen Rossum.
You cannot play afraid. You cannot play being worried. They'll keep on burning you on those routes. Now he's on a full press.
Mathis comes in motion toward the line. Jamal Anderson carrying. Nice move by Jamal to the 35-yard line, where he ran into Michael Zordich. Biggest run of the game for Jamal Anderson. Picks up 13.
Here's what's going on, Sam. They're trying to help the corner, so when they call cover 2, Atlanta's running the football. Now, because that corner couldn't play real good, they're going to roll up like this. Both safeties are out of the running game, both of them. So all of a sudden, Jamal breaks it right up inside because they're trying to cover up for the corner being way too soft.
2 tight ends in for the Falcons and 2 wide receivers. Anderson the lone setback. Chandler still has it. Nobody open. And down he goes. Hollis Thomas, number 78. Bill Johnson, number 94. Combined on the second sack on Chris Chandler.
Well, guess what? Brian Kozlowski, the guy that scored the tight end, the second tight end, wide open running down the field. But the pressure on Chandler, you don't get to see all those guys when somebody's chasing you. Up here, he was wide open. 85. There he goes. This guy has him. 51. That's William Thomas. Look at that. Woo, baby.
9-yard loss on the play. 3 wide receivers in for the Falcons. Todd Kinchin is in. Harold Green is the lone setback. 2nd and 19. Chandler for Tony Martin to the 23-yard line and a first down for the Falcons. Fourth reception of the game for Tony Martin.
All right, they're not doubling, so the corner's off again. Watch how far off he is. Back pedal, got his hips turned. Inside route, he can't stop that unless the safety takes it with him.
Tony Martin, who had some good years in San Diego, picked up 21 on the play. Falcons threatening.
Now they're back to Dublin, Sam, trying to help the corner, and there's the run.
Jamal Anderson down to the 20-yard line.
You know, you got a problem. If your corners can't cover, Sam, it's hard to call defenses. Believe me, I know. I made a career out of not having any. And when you get one, it's easy to be smart.
Well, you try to cover up with some help, and you weaken another spot.
And then they run the ball up inside on you. That time, because Rossum got beat the play before, they come back and run the cover 2. It's tough. You got to have a quarterback, and you got to have cornerbacks. And the Eagles started, one strength was their corners. Well, it isn't anymore.
They hope to have those corners back in a few weeks. Troy Vincent will probably miss a couple more games. Anderson broke some tackles, spins to the 13-yard line. Michael Zordich finally brought him down. Boy, Jamal, little shake and bake and tough to bring down. He is big and strong.
Well, he's running against a 7-man front because both safeties are out of the play. Remember, the safeties are gone to the outsides, both of them, trying to double up for the corners. So now the Falcons are not running in an 8-man front. Here's the safeties, both coming from 14 yards deep.
Last week he ran for 88. This week it's 16 carries, 61 yards. Going to bring the chains in for a measurement here.
Is it a first? Call it, Sam. They need a link, or is it a 1st and 10?
Let's see.
Come on, Sam.
I think it's a first.
If he's missing by a link, I'm going to get you. Oh, it's
I'm
5
sorry.
links. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 links to go.
My apologies. I got faked out.
You can't miss by 10 links now.
Steve DeBerg, what a story he is, huh? As the backup and helping out Chris Chandler. DeBerg, 44 years old, hasn't played a game in the NFL since 1993.
Well, you can be any age you want to wear a baseball hat. He hadn't played yet.
Oh, wait a second. He might get in there, you know. 2 tight ends in. Third, and a few chain links. Chandler on the quarterback sneak. And he got the chain links.
And Brian Dawkins came in there and tried to stick him. Good to have Dawkins back in the game. He was injured for a while. Little push, getting some movement on Thomas. Hollis Thomas got moved out.
Tobeck the center, Calvin Collins the left guard. 8th play of the drive for the Atlanta Falcons, deep in Eagles territory. Jamal Anderson finds the hole, spills forward, down around the 11-yard line.
I think right now the Eagles defense is looking a little tired. They're not as crisp, not flying around as good.
They've spotted the ball at the 9, just inside the 9. And the clock moving. This is a big series here for both teams. Falcons would like to get 7. The Eagles need a stop. Chandler falls down, but got it to Jamal Anderson, who gets to the 5-yard line.
What a play by Chandler.
Ha.
Stumble, fumble, and sticks the ball in there. Usually when that happens, a center or somebody, let's see if somebody steps on his feet here. I don't know if anybody got on his toe or not.
Boy, he found a way to get it to him, didn't he?
There it was,
Yeah.
right there. Runner back. Give me another look at that downstairs in that good trailer. That's the center. Steps on his left foot.
Robbie Tobeck was the guy. Chandler falling down, still got it to Jamal Anderson. Ball at the 5-yard line, 3rd and 3. 2 tight ends in for the Falcons. Mathis, the lone wideout. Chandler to Christian, incomplete.
I want to go back one play, Sam, and show you the center step on the left foot of the quarterback. Watch that foot. Watch the center right there. Now, that's what you do to me every time I try to get on the elevator. You're standing on my boots.
I can't do that.
The only time you want anybody standing on your feet is when you're driving a race car.
Is that
Make
right?
yourself go
over here,
faster.
75.
This is big for the Eagles to force him into a field goal. That's a big stand for the Eagles.
Morton Anderson out of Straczynski's hold. The kick is good. It's the 380th career field goal for Morton Anderson, 3rd all-time in NFL history. The Falcons have a 5-point lead, but there's plenty of time for the Eagles. Morton Anderson getting set to kick off. The Falcons with a 17-12 lead. They took 6.5 minutes off the clock. A little over.
But I think it's important the Eagles didn't get a touchdown, because now the Eagles are still in striking distance with a touchdown. They can go ahead.
Anderson kicking off. Corey Walker and Allen Rossum deep. It's Rossum 4 yards deep. Brings it out. Looking for the seam. He finds one and busts across the 25.
Have we got 2 excellent return men in this football game? One on each side.
Back in Atlanta, the Falcons holding a 17-12 lead. It was the Eagles who got on the board early with a touchdown, missed the extra point. It was blocked. They kicked the field goal and led 9-0. The Falcons have come back. There have been no turnovers in the game. Deuce Staley with 114 all-purpose yards, but most of those yards in the first half. After a 32-yard return, the Eagles, Staley up the middle. Dronette got a hold of him. Up around the 28-yard line.
Well, the play, Sam, hasn't changed any, so the Falcons are just squeezing what's called on the open side. This is the open side, so they're going to try to come free off the right tackle to get a hit on Deuce. Lester Archambault.
Ball across the 28, 2nd and 7. Hoying limped off earlier with a calf injury. Is okay. Swings it out for Staley. Missed connection. That was working early in the game. Missed here.
Well, I think that's his safety valve in case he feels pressure. And Chuck Smith came right underneath on a stunt and a loop. And when he saw Chuck in his face, he just threw it out there.
Upcoming, a very important 3rd and long for the Eagles.
This is large.
Eagles with 3 wide receivers in the game. Russell Copeland is in. Falcons go with 6 defensive backs. Their dime package. They keep the tight end in for protection, but trouble. Hoying gets away, looking. Can't get to the first down marker. Brought down by Cornelius Bennett, number 97. And the Eagles are forced to punt.
Well, you know, I like the way he runs. If he can run and not cross the line of scrimmage to stay alive. And I think because of what happened last week, he's running and crossing the line of scrimmage. And, of course, cannot get the first down.
Tommy Hutton, who has boomed a couple today. Tim Dwight is deep for Atlanta. Hutton's kick. White steps up on the run at the 30. Spun around.
Wow.
But a good return up across the 40-yard line.
That's a whirling derby right there.
He almost ran past the ball. He had to reach back to catch it.
He has no fear. One day when he's in college, he jumped off a mountain just to land in some water. Went right by some guys jet skiing. Here he's going to jump off a mountain. He doesn't care. Wow.
There's a flag down on the play. Let's check it out. Holding against the Eagles. There's a 37-yard punt, a 10-yard return.
We're going to turn down that penalty.
Penalty decline, and the Falcons from their own 41. Don't forget, stay with us. Second game of our doubleheader out in Denver. John Elway and the Broncos coming off a win, going against the Dallas Cowboys, are coming off an opening day win. Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith. Football at its best. The Giants are at Oakland. In week 2. Chris Chandler has had a good second half. Mathis in motion. Jamal Anderson. Flag goes down. Anderson with a good pickup, but that may be brought back.
Jamal is stretching the defense better by stretching. He's getting that lateral movement and then bringing it back, where earlier in the game, Sam, he just went straight ahead. Now he's stretching and then cutting, but holding on the Falcons. He said 68, but he lost his voice.
It was either 68 or 69. 68's Calvin Collins, 69 Gene Williams.
There's Bill Kolar, defensive line coach. A little emotional.
8 penalties for the Falcons in the game. They had 11 last week. They've got to do a better job. 1st and 20. Off the play fake, Chandler deep over the middle for O.J. Santiago. A beautiful catch.
This goes back to the defensive backs are playing that cover 2 coverage. Nobody on the tight end but the linebacker, because the safeties and corners are doubling.
And that's a first down, a 21-yard pickup to the tight end. Big play for Dan Reeves and his Falcons. Last week, the Falcons did a great job with a 5-point lead of killing the clock on the Carolina Panthers. Now at the Eagle 48. Delay to Anderson. James Willis, the middle linebacker, made the initial hit. Anderson picks up 3 on the play.
Well, that time the Falcons left the corners alone, built an 8-man front because it's 1st and 10, and you can see the difference when you run into an 8-man front. All those lanes get shut off pretty quickly because you got an extra safety. There's Dawkins, but the corner is alone when they play the 8-man front.
70 yards on 19 carries for Jamal Anderson. Ray Rhodes needs his team to come up with a big defensive stand to get the ball back. Mathis in motion. Anderson again. Down to the 41-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and 3. With the clock winding down.
I like him in the fourth quarter better than I do at the start of the game. He sort of drags people around a little better in the fourth quarter, and he stretches the play before he takes it straight upfield.
Is that because he's so strong and the defense is wearing down a little bit? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know why, but the strength has nothing to do, Sam, with stretching the play. He's taking the play sideways before he takes it north and south and messing up their pursuit a little bit.
Key 3rd down play. Blitz coming, and they got him. Tim McTire. And Hugh Douglas was there as well. 3rd sack on Chandler. A huge play for the Eagles. Looked like McTire delayed just a little bit.
Well, one thing we did, we interviewed the right guy yesterday. He's going to come off the right side, was Tim McTire. We wanted to talk to him because I thought he was as tough a guy. Oh, he came off the other side. He was the blitzer off of here, but if you look on the right side, Bob Whitfield got beat too. Untouched by human hands. It was Hugh Douglas coming from the right side that beat Bob Whitfield.
Dan Straczynski. Eagles looking to block. Straczynski gets it away toward the sideline. Fair catch, wave 4. Solomon at the 19. Eagles have a chance.
And a nice defensive charge by the Eagles defense that time. Hugh Douglas, good pressure on Whitfield. Tim McTire running the blitz.
36-yard punt. And now the Eagles, who led at halftime, and had the Falcons come back on them with 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. They've traded field goals. Trail by 5, and they need to go all the way. Start from their 19. Hoying over the middle. Kevin Turner gets a couple of yards. Charlie Garner is in for the first time in the game.
With 2 minutes left in the ballgame.
Clock running. 2nd down. The hurry-up offense for Philadelphia. Hoying looking for Garner. Takes it. Takes the hit. Goes down short of a 1st down.
Excellent tackle. Open field.
We're coming to the 2-minute warning, and the Eagles decide to call timeout. Timeout for Philadelphia. We'll get one more play before the 2-minute warning, but this is a big play. 3rd down. They've got to get to the 34-yard line for a first.
Well, with the 8 seconds,
29.
You get a timeout. So maybe with the 8 seconds, they run the ball here. That's probably what they're going to talk about. If we run the ball and don't make it, we get the timeout anyway, and then you're going to go for it on 4th down. Shorten the distance that you got to throw. It's the only reason that they took the timeout because of they're going to get a timeout for free in 8 seconds.
They need 5 yards. I got to believe they'll throw the ball.
They got 2 downs.
Okay.
They're going to play 4th down here.
Ball spotted at the 23-yard line.
What an improvement for that youngster after a week.
That's got to lift everybody's confidence. Here comes 3rd and 5. Hoying, 21 for 30. Garner and Turner in the backfield. 3 wide receivers in. It's Garner. He bounces and is taken down at the 25.
But the 2-minute warning will stop the clock, and they'll go for it on 4th down, and they don't have to throw a long pass.
We've come to the 2-minute warning. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, here it is for the Eagles. 4th and 4 from their own 25.
And Trey Thomas will have to block Chuck Smith. This will be a big play from the young left rookie tackle.
3 wideouts, 2 backs. Hoying with time. Completes a 1st down to Irving Fryer. Huge play for the Eagles.
And great protection by Trey Thomas, the rookie tackle.
Eagles,
he took Chuck Smith right out of the game.
Sorry, Jerry. Eagles have only 1 timeout remaining from their own 34. Hoying short over the middle to Kevin Turner. Up to the 39, where he's swarmed under. Hoying calling the play.
Don't let him complete those because of the clock management. Those completed passes are killing off the clock.
Oop, somebody jumped. Looked like Travis Hall came flying across. Did somebody move too quickly?
Mr. Winter will tell us.
A little huddle first. The Falcons say it's against the Eagles. They're clapping in approval. And a little further discussion as Ray Rhodes looks on. Offside. It's against the Falcons.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
First down.
Results in a first down. Please reset the game clock to 1:20.
Oh boy, they picked up
Reset
18
the game
seconds.
clock to 1:20. Thank you.
All right, it's reset.
Somebody's watching the clock. 3 wide out, Sam.
With Garner back in, the word from the Eagles bench is that Deuce Staley has injured ribs and is done for the game. It's a first down for the Eagles from the 45. Hoying. He was hit, and the ball is incomplete. It was dropped, almost intercepted by Randy Fuller. Hoying was hit as he released.
Who was he hit? They did a stunt. By a stunt, the ends went inside and the tackles looped outside. And the tackle looping. Watch Smith go inside, and here comes the tackles. Bang. Now that head hitting on that turf hurts.
2nd and 10. Eagles on their own 45. Swing it out to Charlie Garner. He's hit immediately by Cornelius Bennett. Lost about 3 on the play, and here comes the 3rd down.
Cornelius Bennett, I don't know if he's made a bigger play in a while, but that was a big one. He was all by himself, man to man.
3rd and 12. They marked it at the 43. Everybody out. Hoying to the sideline and batted away by Ray Buchanan as he covered Irving Fryer. 4th down, Eagles. Falcons have a bye week next week. The week after, they'll be in San Francisco. The Eagles are at Arizona next week. Buchanan had 5 interceptions last season. Big play man. Here's the ball game for the Eagles. Hoying on 4th down is hit. Down he goes. John Burrow got him.
Trey Thomas, the rookie tackle, got beat.
This man worked in the pit crews. You gotta like him.
He works on the NASCAR. Watch the rookie. 72, 1st round pick. Ooh, let him run right around the corner. Let Smith get a hand around his leg.
Chuck Smith and John Burrow were there. They'll credit Smith with the sack. Burrow was there from the other side. 8-yard loss. 41 seconds to go. Ball game over. Chandler takes the knee. The Falcons are going to go 2-0. The Eagles will go 0-2. First time since 1986 that the Falcons have started the season 2-0. Disappointment for the Eagles.
And the Falcons, what a great comeback to get whipped that bad the first half. They just kept on fighting, kept coming back. Credit them for not giving up.
Falcons were down 9-0. You were right. Eagles played very well in the first half, but didn't put points on the board. Not enough. Falcons 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter, and Dan Reeves' son Lee is getting married next week during the bye week. He'll enjoy the wedding.
That's what you call family scheduling. You can only do things in a football family when there's a bye.
Atlanta Falcons have defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 17-12, despite a real good effort by Bobby Hoying. For Jerry Glanville, this is Sam Rosen saying so long from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, where the Falcons have defeated